trying to load up a few more people. Guys, do me a favor. If you hear this correctly, you hear it right, sound is good, give me a thumbs up in the comments, because what we're gonna say, you're not gonna want to miss. There's a lot of misinformation going on, and you know us, we got to set the record straight and just bring out the truth of what some of these campaigns are saying. We're waiting for a few people to come up. Again, give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments something. Let us know this is a cooked edition. Today, we're taking it a little slow, making sure we're staying with our protein, because we need our protein, right? Especially since I have growing kids here. They need some protein. We need to make sure they have the protein they need. We're having some chicken mariposa, something chill, nothing too crazy for this Tuesday, 1 week away from early voting. From the election, I'm sorry. All right, so we got a few people on. We're expecting a little bit more to jump on. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. Of course, Maverick County elections are not just going on in Maverick County, right? They're going on all across the state, and it's crazy right now. This election cycle, it's crazy, and I think it's getting crazier each and every time we have elections. Things just seem to be popping up, and it's not just local elections, it's the state elections, and now even more so the federal elections. Those are getting crazy. So the first thing we'll touch on while we're getting a few more people on here is the issue with Tony Gonzalez, our congressman. So Tony Gonzalez has been our congressman for about 6 years. He's served us 3 terms, and anybody that has followed us through the past till now, we have never been Tony Gonzalez fans. And Tony Gonzalez always just chooses one new media outlet here, and that's his go-to. Shows up for only certain people, not everybody. Avoids criticism like crazy. Doesn't answer criticism. Won't take an interview with the Maverick Times, that's for sure. But right now you see him all over the news. For what? For the issue that we talked about not too long ago, a couple of months ago. It was during last year, of course, but we saw that we called it when we saw it coming out, that he was engaged in an extramarital affair with one of his staffers. Now, I'll tell you, this staffer, I've dealt with her in the past. We've tried to get some grant funding from Tony Gonzalez through a what you call an appropriations committee grant, where we applied for funding. What we applied for just recently was to better the lake and have the entrance fixed, and then have a whole new nutrition center built. It was about a $2 million, $3 million project that we applied for. And then, consistent with Tony Gonzalez and what he has done as a congressman, he didn't care much. I say that story because the person we had contact with was Miss Regina. Miss Regina Santos Avales was the one who poured gasoline on herself and lit herself on fire, and she ultimately died because of her injuries, right? And it's a sad story, guys. I'm not gonna I wouldn't wish that on anybody, man. It's tough. I wouldn't wish the husband's positions on anybody. I wouldn't wish Miss Regina's position on anybody. But you can see how going outside of your relationship and all that, how it could escalate into something bad, especially when you are a figure in the public, as he is, Tony Gonzalez, a congressman. And now there's so many things that are coming out. I don't know if you guys have seen, we've posted text messages. We've posted the video where they're questioning another news media up in Washington, D.C. They're trying to get comment from Tony Gonzalez. And Tony Gonzalez right now does not look healthy, guys. I don't know if he was inebriated. I don't know if he's sick. I don't know if he hasn't gotten any sleep. But he does not look good. He does not look good at all. And I can tell you this, Tony Gonzalez, every time he comes in our area, he only goes and visits the city of Eagle Pass. He won't reach out to Maverick County. He won't participate with Maverick County. He won't assist Maverick County. He doesn't want anything to do with Maverick County. And the only people that hurts are the Maverick County taxpayers. And he was here at the voting polls, but I can tell you from experience is that he doesn't show up where we need him the most to show up is at the Maverick County Courthouse to assist us with getting grant funding at the federal level. Now, we've been successful here and there to be able to get some funding at the federal level, but imagine if we had the assistance of a congressman, and that's just not there. Okay, so that's what we had to say about that, right? Moving to the next topic now, we want to discuss what's happening here at the Maverick County level, local level, with the elections that are going on right now. Just doing my first little flip here. It's important for the voters to understand the truth. Now, the truth is there for everybody to see, and it shouldn't cost anybody anything to have accessibility to the truth. Now, I've mentioned to everybody before, my interest in all this is not to get you to go out and vote for anybody, but to be well informed of the situations that are going on. Because it's important, guys. I mean, look, I can have, somebody mentioned this and I've mentioned it before. I could have 120 people on here live streaming, watching me just like Miss Guetta does. And, that's a good crowd. I'm not even going to lie about that. But a lot of the stuff she says is not telling you guys the whole truth. And that's just being honest. Now, I may have 17, 20, 30. On good days, I'll have 40, 50. And that's fine. I'm not here to get views. I'm not here to get likes, and I'm not here to be liked. Now, what I am here for is to tell you the truth and to point out when people are not telling you the truth. Now, if you guys have seen the video that we posted about the Great Deception, La Gran Decepción, Spanish is weak, but it's important to understand what is going on. Or as Jerry Morales would say, candidate Jerry Morales would say, aquí. I like that part. ¿Qué se está sucediendo aquí? So we're going to tell you that. Now, in that video, if you haven't seen it, if you have not seen it yet, you have Guetta Diaz. Again, she's a former county judge. Had her issues. It is what it is. It's in the past. But you have her saying that the only way we can save this, or the only savior, would be to go vote for Jerry Morales. All right. Now, I can tell you this, and she makes it about the Puerto Verde, that the only way to stop Puerto Verde is to vote for Jerry Morales. That's the only way to stop it. And yet, she doesn't tell you the whole story about Puerto Verde. She doesn't tell you the full truth. And certain things can seem one way if they don't tell you the whole truth. And that's the thing that we're having to deal with from the Jerry Morales campaign. And it's difficult to sort it out. We want to trust Guetta because she shows up with proof and everything. She shows up with proof until she speaks without the proof, right? So, and let me tell you, there's a resolution going around, right? Yeah, Maverick County entered in a resolution. And in that resolution, a lot of people, unfortunately, don't read everything. I had somebody from the Jerry Morales campaign try to, say something was bad by putting that resolution in one of my posts. And I laugh. I laugh because all of Jerry Morales' campaign is so ill-informed. I don't know if it's from him, from somebody else in his campaign, but these guys are not well informed. They're not educated on the topic. And it's disappointing because you should not be talking about a topic if you are not well educated about a topic. Now, just last night, I had somebody say, well, Ramsey's stealing money and he's hiring the taxes. Okay, and then you had him say to buy his Gucci belt, to buy new cars, all this stuff. And look, that's the thing with misinformation, is that it's all over the place. I can tell you, and we posted in a response to this girl, this lady, the Esquivel family, because they've been all over my page defending Jerry Morales. I want to know what the Esquiveles are going to get out of it, because they hosted a little party or a little announcement thing for Jerry at one of their homes. I want to know what they're going to get out of it, but that doesn't really matter at this point. What matters is that they are willing to do anything, even lie to you guys, the voters. So in this resolution, there's several numbers, and in the numbers, it's like telling you what Maverick County Commissioner's Court is committing to. And in all of those numbers, I think there's 7, 8 of them maybe. When you go to number 6, and we'll post it ourselves because it's just, again, I don't know where they're getting their information or their pitches or anything, or if they're getting it from the community that you know, maybe they're not well informed, or if Jerry himself is spreading these lies to his minions, his anonymous participant army that he has going on Compra y Vendos, and they say they sold us out, they did this, they did that. If you look at the resolution carefully, number 6 says that the county does commit to helping out the entity and going through the process. It also says that they commit to bring anything back to Maverick County Commissioner's Court for approval for any financial obligation. I don't think that's the exact word, but for any financial commitment or any kind of commitment. So what does that tell you? That tells you, one, right away, is that Maverick County is not committed to anything. They're committed to looking into the options. They're committed into negotiating everything. And a lot of people are trying to put a negative spin to Maverick County having the permit for this construction, this project. And again, that is a complete lie out of Jerry Morales' campaign. Why is that a lie? Let me tell you this. If Puerto Verde, okay, I'll address that comment right now. Let me just finish what I'm going to say. If Puerto Verde had the permit themselves and not the county, or pulled out anything and not the county, guess what? There's no way you can stop them. No way. But that's not the case. Everything is under Maverick County. Now, let me tell you, anybody with common sense, plain common sense, anybody with common sense can see by Maverick County having that advantage, that permit under their belt, they are the ones in the driver's seat that have leverage moving forward in negotiations. And that's all that's happening right now. Now, the project, yeah, some people have sold their homes already. And the people that have sold their homes got well over the market value for those homes. Why do you think no one is complaining or going all over social media about, you know, getting their home taken from them? Because that doesn't happen. It hasn't. Get that says, oh, they're going to use eminent domain. No. All the houses have already been purchased for that project. The property, the homes that were in the property that want to get this project done, they already purchased those homes. They already got those homes purchased. So I have no idea why Guetta would say that they're going to use eminent domain to take away houses. They already purchased all of them, well above market value for those homes. Why would Guetta lie about that? Interesting, right? Another thing. I had somebody tell me about, again, in the resolution, why does Maverick County have the permit? Of course, Maverick County is in the driver's seat. That's perfect leverage for you to guide these negotiations. Now, Maverick County can still pull the plug on everything if they don't get what they want out of the negotiations. To me, I think that's having an advantage in the situation. Just think about it reasonably, without emotional investment in it, as a business type, no emotion, just nomás lo que es. If Maverick County pulled the permit out of their own name or got it under their name, it seems like they're in the damn driver's seat. So if they don't like the negotiations, they don't like the deal that is being talked about, it doesn't happen. That's what's getting lost by the Jerry Morales campaign, because that's what they want to do. They know that they cannot win an election by telling you the truth. That's a fact. So what is the best way to attack the community and get them to vote for them? This is an old tactic, guys. This has been used since a long way been that I was born, since a long time ago, since y'all were born. Anybody, man. We weren't here on this earth since these tactics have always been used. If you say a lie long enough, and a lot of times, people will start believing it. And that's exactly the seed that the Jerry Morales campaign has been planting on you for a very long time. Guys, research it. Google it. If I say a lie for a long time, for a long enough time, will people start believing me? It is a mind manipulation tactic that gets used during election times, and it's a method to persuade individuals, human beings, because eventually people will start accepting it as truth. And that's exactly the tactics that Jerry Morales' campaign continues to use against you guys. Through his posse, they're the anonymous participants in Compra y Vendo. Guys, I'm probably the #1 attacked person. I get attacked more than any elected official out here. Look at the Compra y Vendos. I get attacked more than the elected officials. Nobody gets attacked more than the person who is telling the truth. That is a fact. And you guys have seen that over the years, over the elections, and any time we let you guys know the truth about what is going on. The truth right now is that the Jerry Morales campaign wants to confuse you. They know that if they continue to talk and say these lies, misinform you, that eventually our minds as humans, that's the way we're developed, that they're going to start penetrating and making you believe it. But you can't allow that to happen. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you who to vote for. There's other candidates besides Jerry Morales running for county judge. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I will tell you that they are lying out of their asses. Another point about the resolution. Let's show you what's going on here before we get to that point. It's looking good, right, guys? Pollito, proteína. That's looking good. Let's put a little drizzle of the lemon pepper. It was a cooked edition, so we got to keep it honest to what we do here. We have a comment. We're gonna get to that comment right now. Real quick before I go, Juan Rodriguez, it's looking good, man. It's coming out good. Era mariposa from Casino Grocery. It's looking good. Somebody remind me like in 5 minutes to check it just in case. But real quick, before we jump on the next thing on the resolution, I want to remind you guys, give you a heads up. I am going to be interviewing Brandon Herrera, the Republican candidate for Texas's 3rd Congressional District. This guy, with everything that's going on with Tony Gonzalez, is more than likely going to be our congressman next. It's between him and Keith Barton. All right, which we've already interviewed Keith Barton twice about that. For some reason, I got a child abduction alert, and it kind of paused everything. Don't go anywhere if that happened, please. Our live is still going on. Anyways, we're going to be interviewing Brandon Herrera, guys. He's going to be most likely our next congressman. You're going to want to tune in. We got him for about 15, 30 minutes. He's a busy guy. He's during election. He's going everywhere. But we're going to have him. Brandon Herrera, the 8K guy. Something that Tony Gonzalez would never do is show up to the Maverick Times to get asked some questions about our Texas 23 Congressional District, which includes Maverick County. Don't miss that. That's tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Nice and early. I hope you guys tune in. It's going to be a good one. And it's going to be something where we got this potential next congressman. We want him to be able to reach out to you guys. We want him to answer questions that you guys might have. Again, that's something that Tony Gonzalez never did. All right. Next thing on this resolution, guys. Before I go on, do me a favor. Like this post if you haven't already. And share this post if you haven't already. Let's get the word out about what's really happening. I always get it's a joke around my house saying that, since Jerry loves to use that word, we use it around the house too. I even got my little kids saying that. But anyways, Share this post, guys. That way we can make sure everybody hears this. Make sure everybody knows about what is going on. And, you know, we're not just here to talk about one campaign. We're here to tell you the truth of what is happening and what Maverick County needs to know. All right. So the other thing about the resolution is that guess who wasn't there to say for or against? Yeah, candidate Jerry Morales. So in a very important, critical vote decision that he had to make as a county commissioner, he just doesn't show up. Absent. He's not against it. He didn't vote for it. Being absent doesn't mean you're against it. And that's what, it's funny because his own campaign is sharing this resolution. That's the idiocy of him and his campaign, is that he's telling you guys one thing, even though there's proof that he is lying about what he is telling y'all. He didn't show up. One important thing that you need to do when you're a county judge is to show up. Candidate Jerry Morales did not show up for that vote. He didn't say he was for, he didn't say he was against. Much like the video that he made where he says that somebody asks him, oh, ¿tú estás en contra de Puerto Verde? What does he say? Or ballot or whatever the fuck his little impact. He says, vigilar. Translates to, we have to be vigilant about Puerto Verde. So, is being vigilant about Puerto Verde being against Puerto Verde? It's not. It's not. Guys, we have a new member of the family that we want to introduce to y'all. The newest member of... Hold on. The newest member of the family is over here relieving herself. Let's introduce you real quick to the newest member of the family, guys. Look at that beautiful princess. Everybody say hi to Miss Canela Ruiz. She is a Belgium, Melano. I've heard it say different ways. She's a beautiful... Hey, girl. Canela. So that is our newest member to the family. I believe she just ate and she's probably looking for somewhere to relieve herself. But the newest member of our family, guys. Little Miss Canela Ruiz. Alright, she's a little shy. Back to the topic at hand. So Jerry doesn't show up for the very important vote about Puerto Verde. But he wants to tell you, or his campaign, you know why his campaign is saying that he's against it, but he won't say that he's against it? It's for liability purposes. So when I can tell you, look, in all honesty, the Puerto Verde thing is more than likely going to happen, whether Jerry tells you, whether Judge Cantu tells you, whether Mingo Rodriguez tells you, no matter what other commissioners tell you. More than likely, it's looking like it's going to happen if Maverick County can get the right negotiation, right? But I will be honest with you and tell you, Jerry does not and will not tell you that he's against it. Now, many of you would say, where's that proof? Isaac, give us the backup, give us the proof, because we need to know the truth. All right. And I agree with you. You need to know the truth. One, he didn't show up to even vote for that item. You can see the resolution that his campaign is sharing. He didn't show up to vote. He was absent. Now, don't you think if it was so important for him to say that he's against Puerto Verde, wouldn't he show up? Wouldn't he show up to vote against it if he was against it? No. He didn't think it was important enough to show up. He didn't want it on record if he was for or against. Why? Because he already knew that he was going to run from a long time ago. He was already convinced. Guys, he took our current county judge, wasting a whole bunch of time, wasting a whole bunch of resources of your county court system, your district court system, using his chat GPT to come up with a court document, a petition to try to have the current judge removed. He completely failed. It completely failed. Why? Because it did not have any merit. Now, again, going back to that resolution, it tells you very clearly that the final decision will go to Commissioner's Court still. If the negotiation is there, if there's a good situation, then Maverick County might enter. But they haven't promised anything yet. The only promise is to work with them. That's it. Now, tell me, is Jerry Morales telling you that? Is Jerry Morales' campaign telling you that? No. They're telling you something completely different. Why do you think Jerry Morales will not get on a live and tell you that he is against Puerto Verde? He has Quetadillas telling you that he's for it. I mean, against it. He has Quetadillas saying Jerry Morales is against it. Why? Because if he were to win, that's how he washes his hands with everything. I never said I was against it. She said I was against it. She's a member of my campaign. She's not me. What? Now, we have the video there. We put a video together so you guys can see. Quetadillas says Jerry Morales is the only way this is not going to happen, and they're going to rescind that resolution. The resolution, why rescind the resolution when the resolution only says that we are going to work with them to try to find a good solution for the county? It does not commit anything. And that is what pisses me off the most about everything, is that these guys are lying straight to your face. They will come on this camera. They will tell you in your face, oh no, let's go rescind. They'll show up at a debate and they'll say, I'm going to rescind this. Why do you need to rescind it? There's no commitment other than to work with this company and see if it's feasible. See if Maverick County can get a good portion of whatever's going to come out of it. Sorry, guys. I know I'm kind of yelling and pissed and upset about it, but I hate when people lie. Look, why don't these campaigns start with saying truths? Nobody does, especially not people that need to hide themselves, especially not with people that need to hide the truth, because they're lying to you. They are lying to you when they don't even need to. Say the truth. But you know why they're lying? Because they're trying to confuse all of you all. Guys, I'm not lying to you. I'll post the document afterwards. It's already on my page. One of the stupid ass campaign workers for Jerry Morales posted it themselves. That's how uneducated these people are. They don't know how to read. If you read the resolution, it tells you there very clearly in English, word for word. It's very simple to read. Left to right, read one word, read the next one, read the next one. Simple. A period, stop, go to the next sentence. But people in Jerry Morales' campaign tried to confuse you guys. Again, what was the tactic that we spoke about at the beginning? Is that if you tell a lie long enough, people will start to believe it. And that is exactly what they are trying to do. That's exactly what they're trying to do, is lie to you guys. That resolution that David Saucedo, that Jerry Morales, they're all in it together. They say they're going to rescind the solution. Why are you going to rescind a resolution when the resolution does not commit us to anything but working with Puerto Verde to try to find a amicable solution where the county can benefit? It says, read number 6 if you have it there, that if there's any financial commitment from the county, it has to go back to Commissioner's Court. What does that tell you? That there is no current financial commitment. But if you talk to Jerry Morales' campaign, they'll tell you, oh, he sold out, he did this, he did that. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Now, let me tell you, is this the type of person you need as a county judge? Again, I'm not telling you who to vote for. I see El Mario say, so who should we vote? None of the above then? I mean, if there was an option like that, but unfortunately there is not an option for none of the above. You're going to have to vote for somebody. I don't have to tell you, and I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. That's not my role. That's never been my role. Now, I will tell you come election day who I voted for. I'll tell you on election day, because I don't want to mislead. I don't want to influence. That's not my thing, guys. You guys know us well, and what we're here to do is to tell you the truth and give you the knowledge that we have about the situation. Now, it's not to say that, I know everything or this and that. No, like, I'm just close enough to the situation. I've been around public service all my life. Read these things. I used to go to the city council meetings. I used to go to the commissioner's court meetings. I read these resolutions. I write resolutions. I know exactly what is going on because I take the time to do it. I'm there already. And that's all I'm trying to do, is to let you guys know what is the situation. What's the truth? What's not the truth? The truth is that Jerry Morales will not tell you that he's against Puerto Verde because he is for it. Now, we already spoke about one document that gives you that proof. We already spoke about the video that I created, the Grand Deception, where it's just Guetta saying that he's against it. He never says he's against it. He says we need to visualize it. It's a whole completely different thing than being against. Now, let me tell you another one. Give me a second, making sure everything's good here. I'm going to give you another one, guys. As if we didn't already have enough to show what it is that's going on here. And what's going on here is that they are trying to confuse you. They are trying to trick you because they know that by telling the truth, they would not make it into office. And that's the sad part about it, right? So the other thing that I want you guys to know, if you haven't already seen it, so someone told me that there's a lot of Moraleses in the race. Okay. You have our state rep, Eddie Morales, at the state level, not at the county level. Now, given the fact that I've had issues, we've had issues, this and that, but I will tell you firsthand that everything that he has done for our community, as in Eagle Pass, Maverick County, I mean, I cannot say anything bad about him, even if, I wanted to, because I would be doing a disservice to you if I'm here saying something bad about him and in fact, he's done a lot. The city of Eagle Pass lost $2 million. He was able to go to the state legislature and recoup $1 million. Guys, that's not an easy task. He has to get so many other people to approve it. That's not easy. And whatever issue that I had before, that I am not above, being a man about it, being big about it, the bigger person here, not the bigger person, but just being a stand-up guy and telling you the honest truth. I can sit here and, say this, say that, say bad things about him all I want, but the fact is the guy is helping our community. And that's what we need, whether it's a Republican, whether it's a Democrat, whether it's an independent. We need people that are going to help and fight for our community. Eddie Morales has done that as a state rep. Now, you have Jerry Morales running for a county judge, and then you have Miss Anilu Morales Gonzalez. Now, I said all that because right now, and we have a screenshot of it. We have a screenshot of it where the candidate, because again, Miss Anilu Morales Gonzalez, she's running for Precinct 4 Commissioner. Yeah, if somehow Jerry and she would win, there would be two Moraleses in the campaign. Okay. In one of Guetta's live, she comments something, and it should pick up the little radar, the little ears on everybody about what she commented, because Guetta tries to throw her under the bus. Now, Guetta does that knowing that she's Jerry's niece, and they're both running, right? Okay. So Miss Morales Gonzalez goes and comments on there that Jerry Morales is in fact in favor of Puerto Verde. And we can post that so everybody can see, because it wasn't even me that took the screenshot. They sent that to me. And I was like, you know, I believe it was my boy Fortis. Shout out to Fortis who's watching this, I know. But he sent it to me because it was like, damn. And I was shocked because I was like, okay, what other proof? I mean, I already knew he was not against Puerto Verde. Everybody around that knows a little bit about it already knew that Jerry Morales was not against it. That's why he didn't show up for the vote. And then you have a relative of his sharing with you a secret that's behind the curtain, telling you straight out that Jerry Morales is in favor, but right now the hot topic is to say is you're against it. Now, why would a candidate for county judge deliberately deceive taxpayers and voters of the county he is trying to lead? Guys, I mean, if I could post it on this live, I would. It doesn't allow me the option to. But it's true. Now, why would they post that? You know, they're related, this and that. You know, in all honesty, I don't know the situation, but it kind of seems that they're not in great terms. And it seems to me that the lies that Queta is spreading, or the misinformation, has already affected everybody to the point where people are coming in to tell you the truth. Because it's not in your best interest to have people telling you what's not true. I have always been somebody that says, you know what? Tell the truth and let the people decide what they want. But no, you have these people saying that you have, you know, the Rodolfo Bandas, el voz del pueblo out there. You have Queta Diaz out there. You have so many other people that say that they're for the people, but they're wearing a campaign shirt. Jerry's campaign shirt. How is that being for the people? They're for Jerry Morales, not for the people. I can tell you, I don't have anybody's campaign shirt wearing it on me. I'm not walking the streets with anybody. I'm here for you guys to know the truth about what is really happening. That's it. Let me get to some of these comments because they're here, and then we'll continue the talk and discuss an interesting video that Jerry Morales interview had with one of the local news medias, where it got us thinking, like, what the hell's going on here? But let's get through these comments first. Sarcastic lady. Not too big of a fan about people, you know, not having their names out there, but we don't shy away either, right? So let me read these comments and address them while we're getting in this last I like the mariposa chicken, guys, because it cooks a lot faster than the complete one. Look, I'm almost done here, but we're not almost done with the podcast, so we got to keep it rolling. All right, I'm gonna need another beer for this one. Let's take care of necessities, and then we'll get to these comments. Hold it. You don't have to come out. Just go like that. I'm just getting a beer, guys. My lovely wife's holding it there.
Hello.
Yeah, she said hello. She's gonna come out soon, y'all. Y'all just wait for that. And we got little Isaac, and then we have Chloe over there. Shout out to Chloe that placed third on discus in her last track meet and fifth in shot put in her last track meet, her first track meet as an 8th grader for the Memorial Mavericks track team. Shout out to her, right? But we're still working on the wife to come out so she can be a part of our positive thing that we're doing here, and letting everybody know the truth of what happens in our community. So anyways, sarcastic lady says the truth is people don't want the Puerto Verde project. I understand. I understand that, you know, when projects come along, some people want them, some people don't. And, you know, that's good in its own, because we do need some contrast. We do need some contrast whenever it comes to these projects, because, you know, not every project is good, not every project is bad. But we do need people out there having difference of opinion so we can come to the best accommodation moving forward. So, sarcastic lady, I can totally see that. Juan Rodriguez says chicken is fire. Thank you, bro. It looks good. I'm gonna enjoy. are an elected official, if you are an elected official, it is your obligation to show up regardless of how anybody else votes. Because you need to show up for your constituents to say, I'm here and I voted against it. He didn't do that. He will tell you everything but that he's against. He won't tell you that he's against. That's why he didn't show up. He was absent. Now, you guys pay him to show up for those decisions. That's why he should show up. Now, if you feel very strongly about something, especially if a whole precinct votes for you to be their voice, don't you think you're obligated to show up? Now, look, I have the best example here. For many years, Roberto Ruiz, Commissioner Precinct 4, was not allowed to do anything because he was not a part of the Salcedo Morales majority in Commissioner's Court. But it's almost done. It's almost done. It's coming out. You see, they're hungry too. But I say that Commissioner Ruiz shows up even though he knew he did not have the majority, even though he knew that Salcedo, Morales, and Cantu were going to vote against him and not let him do anything. Why? Because he is a stand-up guy that has a spine that was there for his Precinct 4 voters. You have to show up. You have to show up because that's what people elect you to do. Show up and be there for the constituents. Mr. Miranda. Sarcastic lady says, that's very true. Mr. Morales will not say he's against it. Yes, he will not. He will not say he's against it because he's playing all of you, the taxpayers of this community, the Maverick County voters. He is playing y'all for fools. And I know you guys aren't fools. I know you're not. That's why you're watching me right now. It don't even matter about numbers. I don't care that Keta gets 100 fucking people on her live. She's fucking lying to y'all. She is lying to you guys. And that is the truth. And Mr. Morales won't tell you that he's against it. He won't show up and vote against it. Because you know why? If he wins, it's going to happen. So if you're voting just because he says that he wants to rescind the resolution, why didn't he say he's against it? Straight out, say he's against it. He won't. He is lying to all of y'all. And it's sad. It's sad that somebody has to lie to get into the county judge position. El Mario says, who should we vote for? None of the above. I mean, that's not an option. You could leave it blank, but I wouldn't do that. I would vote for somebody, man. And that's what we're here for, trying to tell you the best we can out of however we can, because it's the truth. And then you make the decision from the truth, not about the lies that Jerry Morales' campaign and Jerry Morales himself, along with Ms. Keta Diaz, that they're saying to try to convince you guys, to try to confuse you guys. Let's see. I thought I had seen a comment here saying, I don't know. I guess I must have missed it. Let me see. Okay, Miss Naomi Vielma says, what are pros and cons of Puerto Verde? Your point of view, genuinely curious. Yeah, I mean, look, I understand that many people may be upset about the location. All right. I get that. You know, I myself probably, I would say that I don't like the location of it, but I will say the houses have already been sold above market. That's not what Keta tells you. She says eminent domain, that they're going to take your house, and that's not true. Those are lies. The houses have already been bought. Now, if it comes to a point where they may need another property that they didn't account for, they're going to try to reach out to the people and do the same thing, pay them above market value. Now, if that doesn't go through, even if they want to do eminent domain, it has to go through the federal government. And let me tell you, the federal government is one of the hardest things to take on when it comes to acquisition of property. It's difficult, guys. Look, I'll tell you why. I deal with grants. I work on grants. There's certain grants that they tell you, the people that work for these grants at the state and federal level, they say if you have to acquire property, do not apply for this grant, because it is a process that takes years, and the federal government may not even grant you eminent domain. It is difficult to do. It is not easy. It is not easy. And that's the thing. Geta doesn't tell you that. She says that they're going to take away houses. No, you would have to go to the federal government, convince the federal government to do it, which takes years to begin with. And they already have the properties purchased. Miss Naomi, let's try to stick to what you're saying, pros and cons. Now, a con would be maybe the location. Why that location? Okay, here's another thing that they're not telling you in the Jerry Morales campaign. But here, I will tell you the truth. The reason why they need to have it there, because there's also a train, right? That's part of this proposed. Now, the original plans had it out in Quemado so they can have the bridge over there. Guess what? There isn't a rail system out there. There is a rail system that breaks off in Mexico that can be broken off in that area, and that's the reason why they have it going through in that Seco Creek area before you get to Las Minas. That's the reason, because part of the project has to do with that rail system being built. Now, it's not feasible to have it in Quemado because there is nowhere to tie that rail system. So that's the reason why they're having it here. So yeah, I mean, it's not the best location, but that's the reason why they made it the location. Because of part of that project deals with the rail system, and the rail system, of course, needs to tie to an existing rail system, because you're not going to build a whole damn rail system in Quemado, which there isn't one. That's the reason why they have it going through that Seco Creek area, just off of Loop 480. I mean, there it is. I don't like the location, but I understand the project and I understand what they're trying to do, and that's the reason why it's in that location. Now, many of y'all will say, these are good to go. Sorry, guys. Pros, those are cons. Pros, I'll say that there is some, and pros would be the possible and likely economic development coming from Puerto Verde and the opportunities that it can bring. Not only jobs, but a boost in the economy. It's going to bring, much like the several bridges that Laredo has, it's going to give another option for these people, or whoever import-export, it's going to give them another option to do their importing and exporting. What does that do? It creates jobs. And that's what we need here in Maverick County, is to have job creation. Now, I can probably talk to many of y'all, and many of y'all would say one of the drawbacks of Maverick County and City of Eagle Pass is jobs. This will help doing that. Another pro, like I said, Maverick County has the permit under this, so Maverick County actually has the leverage in the negotiations. Now, there may be a percentage we can get from the tolls. There may be infrastructure that we can get from the developer, the Puerto Verde who's constructing. There is many possibilities that can be accomplished. And that's why it was important for Maverick County to have that permit under them, because if they didn't, then Puerto Verde would have nobody to rein them in. Maverick County has that permit. So Maverick County has a leverage above the Puerto Verde in the negotiations. So there's going to be benefit to that, to Maverick County. It could come in the form of a percentage of the tolls. It can come in, again, job creations. It could come in infrastructure. I've mentioned it before that when big projects like this come and they have presidential authorization already, it's difficult to stop. That's just being honest. Look at the coal mines. David Salcedo will tell you, we fought the coal mines, we fought the coal mines. The coal mines still happened. And we didn't get shit from the coal mines. I mean, there was job creation, limited, but we didn't get shit from them. I would much rather you're coming up with a big project. It's going to affect our community, our county, our voters, our people. Come over here. Sit at the table. How can you make it better for our community? Hey, we need more parks. Hey, we need another street or another thoroughfare over here where we can get more road access. Hey, we have a lot of accidents. We need another overpass. There's several things that can happen. But if you're not willing to negotiate with these people, these investors, it's going to be like Puerto Verde. It's going to be like the coal mines. Vamos puro Chile. We didn't get anything out of that. Why? Because David Salcedo was fighting, instead of having the common sense, being reasonable enough to say, hey, come over here, coal mines. We want you to help us develop this park. We want to have one of our own inspecting you guys to make sure you guys are not violating any environmental regulations. We need another street. We need another highway. We need you to help us do this because, you guys are there in the way. There's a lot of things that can be done when people are brought to the negotiating table and negotiate, especially when you have the leverage like Maverick County does, in this case with Puerto Verde having the permit. Guys, it just makes sense. Think about it. Now, I'm not saying I'm for or against. Again, I'm not here to make your mind up. I am just here to give you the facts. Naomi, I think I said quite a few. Again, there's a lot of stuff that comes with it. I don't think we have any endangered species in the area, so I think that might be a plus. But I think that everybody that is for this is looking at it as an opportunity for economic development and to bring jobs in. Now, I know that a lot of people are used to Eagle Pass, Maverick County being a small town, and many people enjoy that, and I understand that. But if we don't think outside the box sometimes, we tend to shut ourselves out of many developments. It's important to think like that. Again, there's other pros and cons. I think that more than anything, the county and commissioners court really needs to sit to the table and make sure we get our bang for our buck. Make sure if there is concerns in the area that they are addressed, whether it's creating another road, another way to access these roadways. That way, if we do have increased traffic in the area, there needs to be another way to get away, another route to get out of there. Flooding issues. We need to make sure, hey, grab Puerto Verde and say, we need to address flooding in this area. You're going to build here. We need to make absolutely sure no one floods. We want you to have a flood study here. There's a lot of different things that we can do. But in my experience, again, I'm going back to the coal mines. When big people already have presidential authorization, federal government authorization, it's hard and difficult to stop it. We might as well think reasonably and rationally, remove the emotion of it, and say, hey, what can we get out of this deal? And I am always going to be for something that could help you guys as taxpayers and us as a community to get things for my children and your children that we didn't have growing up. Eagle Pass was a small town when we were growing up. We didn't have the same opportunities as bigger cities did. Now, this is a step that can maybe help us get into that place where we will have our kids able to have opportunities that we never had. Just, thoughts, right? Pros and cons. I hope I answered what you wanted. Naomi, I don't know if you have any follow-ups. Patty Martinez, hi, congratulations. Yeah, we're real proud of Chloe, man. She kills it academically. She's well behaved. And then, on her track meet, 3rd in discus, 5th in shot put. We're real proud of that girl. She's exceeding all of my expectations. Pat, sarcastic lady, congratulations to your daughter. Thank you, I appreciate that. She's a really good girl. She's gonna be a lot better than her dad. I'll tell y'all that. Y'all watch her whenever she grows into a young adult. She's gonna be way better than her dad. And what else does a parent want other than their kids being better than they were, right? I'm sure a lot of parents out there can relate to that. Eva Martinez, provecho, muchas gracias. Ahorita we're gonna go inside. The family's probably eating, but they know I'm out here, addressing you guys and making sure that you guys know what's going on and what's ahead, just to make a good decision. I mean, I'm not here to convince you. If you already casted your vote, you already made your vote, I'm not here to convince you. All I'm here for is to tell you the truth, and don't get tricked by these people. Don't get tricked by these people. It upsets me when people come on here and they just lie to your face. It really does. It really does, because no se vale eso. You know what I mean? If your candidate is good, he should be able to say the truth and go with that. And that's what we've always been about, saying the truth and nothing but the truth. It's just what it is. Let's see. Jorge Vasquez says, why didn't Ramsey show up to the debate? Does this fall under obligation? My understanding, a debate, you're not obligated to go. You can choose. That's a good question. Now, I would say, do you think that Jerry and Mingo were obligated to go to the Democratic debate? Because think about it, and I understand where you're coming from, Jorge. You're coming from, maybe he has to be there. I don't think that that's the same, because he is not elected yet. Or he's elected, but that's to go and get votes and be heard. I mean, as an incumbent, many people don't always go to debates, and the reason being is that what you've done should be speaking for itself. But I mean, there was instances where the other candidates didn't show up to the Democratic debate as well. I don't think it's the same, because Jerry was elected to defend the people. So if he was against Puerto Verde, you're elected to be there and defend your constituents. He wasn't there to defend his constituents. Why? He was absent. Because he is for Puerto Verde. Again, we've shown you the resolution where he was absent. We've shown you videos where he doesn't say he's against. Only Queta says that they're going to rescind the resolution, not saying that he's against. They're saying that they're going to rescind the resolution. Again, this resolution says nothing other than that Maverick County Commissioner's Court is willing to work and see if there's feasibility to this project of Puerto Verde. Yadira Rivera says, what's up? What's up? Jorge Vasquez, the county sued to stop the coal mines from operating. It was a health hazard for residents of the community. Jorge, did the coal mine still happen? The coal mine still happened, brother. It still happened. They fought them, and it still happened. And what did the county get out of it? A couple of jobs only. Now, what if you don't go that route? Go the route of, let's sit on the table, let's negotiate, and let's do what is best for the Maverick County residents. Naomi says, thank you for your response, no problem. Alex Martinez says, sir, how about the city of Eagle Pass? Will they benefit from Puerto Verde? That is a very good question. I'm glad you asked that, Alex Martinez. I'm not sure if they will benefit. It depends. I did hear or read something where the city of Eagle Pass is interested in possibly partnering with Puerto Verde. If they partner with Puerto Verde, it seems like they will benefit. Now, there may be a side thing where the city of Eagle Pass will lose some of their income or some of their revenue, better said revenue, where the city of Eagle Pass may lose some revenue if the county has a commercial bridge running in the county. And that's a possibility. We're not sure how much the hit will be, but it's a possibility. And I think that the city of Eagle Pass exploring the possibility of working with Puerto Verde is probably the best move the city of Eagle Pass can do to avoid losing that revenue that comes in. Regardless, whether the city or the county gets that revenue, the city's in the county. You get what I'm saying? The county can still support everything that the city will lose or not lose or anything like that. The city is still within the county. So it's not going to be like the city is not going to have money to do something. The money will go to the county and the county will address those needs accordingly. At least that's the way that I see that going. But the last thing I heard about the situation, look guys, sorry, I don't mean to stop, but I see this Randall Stevens guy. Let me tell you, Randall Stevens is a fake profile ran by Obi Salinas. Randall Stevens is a fake account ran by Obi Salinas. And because I've been telling the truth, because I've been exposing him for what he has done to our community, which he has only hurt our community. Y'all see all the nasty, vile posts he posts about me that is not true. He has only hurt our community. And I'm seeing he's posting something on the Maverick Times, and I laugh at this guy. I laugh at this guy, and I laugh about anybody that hires this guy to run their political campaigns. And that's what he did. We shared a post about him. We saw him emerge at the Maverick County elections at the multipurpose, and he's upset. And he has a nasty habit of running dirty politics. We have seen this since the David Salcedo times. Now he's a part of Jerry Morales' campaign. And he will not stop because he knows he's going to get something if Jerry Morales wins. And guess who's going to pay for it? The Maverick County taxpayers. That's why he is running his campaign of spreading lies about me. I mean, I don't know what they've said, that Judge Cantu's my lover and I beat up my wife because she caught us in bed. Like, what? Are you kidding me? My wife just said hi to y'all holding the phone. And that's the thing, guys, is that you need to think. Why are they attacking me so much? They're not attacking me because I'm lying. They're attacking me because I'm telling you the truth. The truth about everything. It is what it is. This is nothing I haven't seen before. They have attacked me 4 years ago, 3 years ago, when Judge Cantu beat David Salcedo. And who do we see walking those streets? Salinas. Or should I say Randall Stevens. Ram says, Saludos, Ram. We saw you the other day at the Casino Grocery. Our Casino Grocery addiction is real. We got some chicken from there today. I saw you a couple of days ago getting some carne también. Saludos, man. Nothing but love. Chico de Luna. All candidates can twist the narrative to fit their agenda. Yes. Most and maybe all politicians here in Eagle Pass have underlying agenda that the public will never get to know. It is difficult to feel comfortable in voting any politician in Maverick County. No brown nosing here. In my part, all politicians are fair game. Yeah, I mean, and I agree with you, Chicho. Or, I'm sorry, not Chicho. Mr. De Luna, I agree with you. Wholeheartedly. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to call out the bullshit. Because there's a lot of bullshit. And right now I hear most of the bullshit coming from Jerry Morales' campaign, honestly. I mean, if I hear something from Mingo's campaign about lies, I'd call that out. If I hear something about Judge Cantu's campaign spreading lies, I would call that out. But unfortunately, and I've seen this from any campaign that has Obi Salinas associated with it, they love to run that compre y vendo game. They love to run the fake stuff, talk shit with fake profiles. I've seen this before, guys. We've lived this before. 3 years ago, this is what was happening. And it comes from one person that they continue to bring to our community that likes to play dirty politics. I've said nothing but the truth, guys. And I will defend myself if anybody attacks me. I hope you guys defend yourself if anybody attacks you. But that's the way it is in this game. Nobody gets attacked more than the person that is telling Naomi, would the city and the county pay taxes if the city partners with Puerto Verde? That's another thing. Now, they want to tell you that Eddie Morales, a state representative, wanted to create a port authority going to the state to tax you guys. It wasn't to tax you. It was to tax them. They need to pay their taxes. And any project that they're associated with needs to pay taxes under that authority. Right now, it's not about the county or the city paying additional taxes. I can tell you that right now, that's not the deal. Could it be in the future? Well, I mean, I can't tell you 50 years in the future, 20 years in the future, the taxes are going to increase because of project. I can't. That's too far out. But I can tell you in the near future, that is not designed to tax you guys. That is the furthest from the truth. Again, that's another lie that the Jerry Morales campaign, through his people in his campaign, are trying to tell you guys. Lies, lies, lies. Like, what's that singer? Morgan Wallen? Something like that, right? Lies, lies, lies. That's all you hear from the Jerry Morales campaign. You would still need to take in consideration, this is Chicho de Luna. You would still need to take into consideration further revenue they will lose in decades to come. Correct. I agree with you. But again, the city is within the county. And if the city works with the county, the revenue that the county gets that the city isn't getting needs to be invested into the city as well. And that's, it's nothing out of the ordinary for a county to have more revenues and take care of constituents within the city. That it's normal. That happens in other places. It just so happens that in the past, we have had poor commissioners' courts that haven't really brought up our county the way it should be. And this is an opportunity to do just that. Guys, one thing before I go, and I'm going to make a video clipping everything to show you guys. It was a concern that somebody sent me a video from Jerry Morales' campaign. Well, from the candidate Jerry Morales. He was saying, last thing before I go, guys, he was saying that he knows that he's gonna be outspent in this election. That's not true. If you guys remember, we showed you everybody's campaign finance. We showed you Mingo Rodriguez's, we showed you Judge Cantu's, we showed you Jerry Morales. Jerry Morales received $10,000 from Poncho Nevares. Let me tell you, when Poncho Nevares was a state rep, guess who was his chief of staff? Obi Salinas. Do y'all see how this little mafia works? They want to keep the circle closed. Keep you out of it. Poncho Nevares donated 10 as a state representative. What a coincidence that he's working the campaign for Jerry Morales. It should be raising red flags for you guys. That is what you call a political mafia. Now, he got $10,000 from Poncho Nevares, $5,000 from the Ritchie law firm. That's already $15,000. Another $5,000 donation from, I forgot what they're called, another company that is directly tied to Jerry Morales. Again, another lie and misinformation from the Jerry Morales campaign. When is he gonna stop lying? When is he gonna say the truth? That's crazy, guys. Just think about this full circle and how they're trying to close it on you. Poncho Nevares, $10,000 donation. That's a high donation for a county judge campaign. Obi Salinas used to be the chief of staff of then state representative Poncho Nevares. Why isn't Poncho Nevares our state rep anymore? Pues he dropped the paquetillo. I mean, it's on the news. Google it. He dropped the paquetillo. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think that Obi Salinas, as his chief of staff, didn't know about his habit? These are the people we're dealing with. These are the people that are trying to take over your community. Everything I say is true, guys. Google it. It's the truth. But they want to misinform you. They want to lie to you. They want to tell you stuff and make sure they manipulate you into thinking that they're the good guys. But why doesn't Jerry say that Obi Salinas used to be the chief of staff for Poncho Nevares? Why hasn't Poncho Nevares come on here and tell you why he gave $10,000 to Jerry Morales? Or why doesn't the Ritchie Law Group tell you why they gave $5,000 to Jerry Morales? No, Jerry's trying to convince you that he's not well funded. He is very well funded. From the reports we showed you last time from the campaigns, Jerry has more money in this than the Judge Cantu than Mingo Rodriguez. My question is this: why does candidate Jerry Morales think he needs to lie to you about this? If he lies to you about this, what is he gonna lie about if he does win county judge? I'm almost done. Last point. Last thing I want to say. Jerry Morales talks about bringing in a limousine, getting all of the elderly people and taking them to go vote. He probably gives them a ballot and tells them, here's a ballot, we want you to vote for these people. Guys, check on your grandmas, check on your grandpas, check on your moms and dads. If you have them in any facility that has that helps out the elderly people, it seems to me, and this is my opinion, that Jerry Morales' campaign is taking advantage of the elderly vote by sending them a limo and bringing them down to vote. Probably giving them a ballot with Jerry Morales' little thing highlighted, penciled in. Go and make sure that your parents, your mom and dad, your grandma and your grandpa is not falling into the trap that the Jerry Morales campaign is taking advantage of. It is not right to take advantage of the elderly voters by giving them a limo ride to the multipurpose and giving them a ballot showing Jerry Morales filled in on that ballot. That is not right, and it's not ethical in my opinion. And I think that everybody needs to check on their moms, everybody needs to check on their dads and their grandparents to make sure that the Jerry Morales campaign is not taking advantage of them. Again, we heard a Jerry Morales interview where he tells you this, that he is getting a limo and he's picking them up from loterias, from their facilities that take care of them, and he's taking them to go vote in that limo. Man, it's incredible, guys. It's incredible what some of these politicians are trying to do. But what you need to think about is that why? Why? Anytime anybody's doing something, why? Why are they doing this? Always think in your head, why? I had a boss once, great guy, Mr. Chavez, rest in peace. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know a lot of the stuff that I know, and I wouldn't have the mentality that I do have. One of the things that he told me was, whenever you see something, don't get involved, step back, examine what someone's doing, and ask why. Why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? Why are they doing this? Why is he doing that? Why is she doing that? It's part of critical thinking skills. And, you know, I didn't always have that, but it was taught to me. And that has been one of the most valuable assets that I have as far as critical thinking. Think why? Why does Jerry Morales' campaign have to lie? Why does Jerry Morales' campaign have to go get elderly votes that your mom, your dad, your grandparents are out there? Vulnerable. It's important, guys. This election is big. I'm not going to try to downplay it. It's big. Do you really want somebody that is willing to lie to you? That is willing to misinform you? That is willing to deceive you guys? That's not the person that you should be voting for in these Maverick County elections. Guys, that's all the time I have today. I'm going to go enjoy some of this chicken I made, spend some time with my family. I just want to remind you guys, 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, we are going to have Brandon Herrera, maybe our next congressman, for an interview. Only people, the Maverick Times News is the only news, the only podcast that is going to have Brandon Herrera for an interview. We pride ourselves on that. Thank you, guys. That's all we have today. We're going to be posting some things, so watch out for the information that we're going to post. And thank you for watching. We appreciate you. This is the Maverick Times Podcast, Cooked Edition.